So my name is Demario Longmire. I am a junior currently studying linguistics. I'm from Muskegon, Michigan on the west side of the States. So I think that IGR has a really close-knit community, and I think that everyone who's here is very passionate about the work and the conversations that are had. And so it was, interestingly enough, I was brought to IGR by a friend. I was recommended it over the summer. I actually didn't know what IGR was before I came here, which I think made the experience a lot more overwhelming, but I think also it made the experience a lot more eye-opening. So as I said, I took my first dialogue over the summer. So I took a socioeconomic status dialogue, which was really interesting, was really difficult at times in thinking about how social class is something that affects us so often. So I think that was really a great way to get my feet wet in dialogue. Then I was hooked, so I took the facilitator training class. I really, in terms of the minor, took the IGR facilitation track. Most of the work that I do here is really community engagement and community education. So figuring out ways in which I can more effectively connect and engage the communities around me, and I think that IGR has really given me a platform through which I can do this, through which I can have critical conversations, figure out how people experience life on campus, so that I can help create foster a better community for everyone here on campus. And I think it's important that IGR be present in a campus like ours with so many students, with so many different experiences, so many backgrounds. And I think that IGR has become, for me, sort of a hub through which I can have these conversations and connect the work that I learned here with other things that I do on campus. So I think it's really difficult to really pinpoint when I had a defining or an aha moment in IGR, because I think there are so many. I think, when I initially came to this work, I didn't know a lot about social justice. I didn't know what the term social identity was. And so I think that it was really great for me to examine all of these things that affect how I experience the world, how I experience campus life. And so I think that that was an aha moment for me. But I think that the way that the dialogue is set up is it allows for a lot of different people to have aha moments at their own pace. The nature of this work is one that's critically examining, it's introspective, and so I think that it allows people to grow and develop at their own pace. And I think that those different aha moments create an aha moment collectively as a group, because dialogue is all about collective understanding. How can we engage with each other in a way that all of us grow and all of us understand each other better? And so I think that the nature of this work allows for a lot of aha moments. So I think that there are so many transferable skills in this work. As I said, you develop ideas about social identity and how those influence how we connect and interact with each other, whether that be in an engineering setting or a humanities arts-based setting. I think that it gives you skills on intercultural competence and seeing how different cultures, how different experiences, different perspectives affect how we engage with one another, and affect how we've engaged with our other communities. And honoring that, respecting that, and figuring out ways in which we can successfully incorporate all of the experiences, all of the cultural values that we have to foster a more effective and inclusive community. I think that there are great skills to be had in communication styles. So I think IGR does a great work, specifically in the facilitation tract, about figuring out how do people communicate, how do people relate to one another, and that affects how people interact in a space. If your space is all about direct communication that's very succinct, that might not be inclusive to everyone, that might not be beneficial for everyone. And I think that it's important to see how your community interacts with one another. There's a lot of skills to be gained in communication styles and effectively communicating with your community. But also, I guess, with the research tract, if you're more analytical, I think there's skills to be had in seeing the work that people have already done in IGR, and being like, oh, I am able to critically examine how people's experiences help shape the way that they perceive the world, the way they perceive a situation, the way they perceive their community, and make it better, whether that be through education, whether that be through outreach. And so I think that IGR gives you the skills to effectively do that. So I think that IGR is really for students who want to help foster a better community. And I think that IGR is really for people who want to critically examine themselves and see how do my experiences affect the way that I see the world? And how does this lens that we create with our experiences and our identities affect what I'm seeing, but also what I don't see? And I think it's important for students who want to really expand their perspective, want to gain skills in perspective taking, want to gain skills in intercultural competence, want to gain skills in just being a better person. I think that it's important that students come and take an IGR class and engage with this work, so that we can start this journey, because we know that this is a journey, this work, trying to be more inclusive, trying to challenge social inequalities, trying to be more examining of things like privilege and oppression in our society. I think it's important for students to come and critically engage with one another, because our experiences are who we are. And I think that an essential part of the IGR experience is hearing the experiences of other students and seeing that that's real.